Good morning, dear students. Can anyone tell me what is the last topic we have done by yesterday? What is the last topic we have done, beta?
Effects of thermal expansion on pendulum clock.
Okay, we derived that relation, delta T by T is equals to half into alpha
Yes,
into
sir.
delta T. We did even the problem on that one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. Take one small side reading, beta. Bimetallic strip. Keep the heading there, beta. Bimetallic strip. What do you mean by bimetallic strip? Bi means two, isn't it? Combination of two metals, isn't it? Welding just చూడండి. Welding ఎలా చేస్తాం? If I need two metals to be welded, basically we'll keep one above the other and we'll try to weld it onto either side with a certain materials, isn't it? So that type of addition is called as of your bimetallic strip. So combination of two different metals, ఇప్పుడు మన ఆటోమేటిక్ ఐరన్ బాక్సెస్ ఉంటాయి చూడండి అన్న, isn't it? They'll get switch on alternately, half and on అయిపోతాయి ఒకసారి. Once they get completely heated up, then after the moment it gets heated up, it will get disconnected from the power. Again, once it gets cooled, again come back to the original position, again it will try to get heat up. That means that automatic on and half is been working on the principle of your bimetallic strip. అది ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే, right now this is a combination of your bimetallic strip, like this two combination, and this one will be, say for example, a circuit, and here there will be some battery which has been connected to the switcher part, and this is right now the connection, and these are made up of two different metals, better. This is nothing but metal 1 and metal 2. When it is completely getting heated up, basically right now it is in touch with this one, isn't it? So it will go on heat, go on heat. Once it gets heated, this metal will try to change its shape. This will become slightly like this, and this will become slightly like this, and this will go like this. That means it gets disconnected from the circuit. The moment it gets disconnected from the circuit, what happens? The current will be no flowing in this one, so it will become cool. Once it gets cool, again it will come back to the original portion. So again it will get connected with the circuit, and there will be the flow of a current. Because of that phenomenon, there the what do you call that one, iron box will get heated up on and off automatically. So indirectly, I mean to say that the bimetallic strip is nothing but an instrument which can be used as an on and half combination part of a relation. So if I'm writing the definition right now, see here, if two strips of different metals, two strips and small strips, like మీరు బ్లడ్ తీయడానికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు రైట్ నౌ యు మైట్ బి సీయింగ్ దట్ గ్లాస్ ప్లేట్స్, isn't it? ఆ గ్లాస్ ప్లేట్ లాంటిది స్ట్రిప్స్ ఉంటాయన్న. If two strips of your different metals are placed one above the other, are placed one above the other, and rigidly joined, that means by some external phenomenon. The single strip formed is called bimetallic strip. Is called what? Bimetallic strip. So what is a bimetallic strip? If two strips of different metals are placed one above the other and rigidly joined, the single strip formed is called as of your bimetallic strip part of relation. Like say for example, this is something like this, and the one is this one. I'll try to draw it with the red pen. This part is of one metal. Say for example, this is made up of your copper. The down one is, say for example, made up of your iron. Okay, so when you get heated up this one, when you heat this one, the shape of this one will become like this. Okay, this one is copper and this one is nothing but iron. Okay, so why this shape means, since alpha of your copper is greater than alpha of your iron, coefficient of linear expansion of the copper is greater than coefficient of your iron part. So increase in length of copper strip will be greater. Hence, strip with higher value of alpha will be on convex side. Okay, so this one is your larger length, so that is on your convex side. So what exactly is a bimetallic strip beta? A 2 mark question even for board examination, he may ask you, define bimetallic strip. Bimetallic strip is nothing but what? If two strips of different metals are being placed one above the other and rigidly joined, the single strip formed is called as of your bimetallic strip. Here I am taking the example of your copper and iron. That can be any metal beta. It's not compulsory that you need to take the copper and iron. That depends upon the availability of the metals part affiliation. But make sure that whenever two different metals are being applied, the increase in the length will depend upon what? Alpha value. Here in the copper and iron, alpha value of the copper is greater than alpha value of your iron. So increase in the length of the copper strip will be greater. So copper strip will be greater. That is the reason this is becoming right now for me convex side. Okay, now so that will be your convex side. Hence, strip with higher value of alpha will be on your convex side of the metal. Is it clear for everyone? So what is a bimetallic strip beta? It is the strip of what? Different metals which have been placed one above the other. This mechanism of the metal strips are being used in your automatic alarms or maybe on our iron boxes or burglars alarms, basically in the police stations, and that all materials internally. This mechanism is been working on that one because it works on a thermostat. Even small rise of a temperature may make the strip to increase and decrease. The moment I have drawn this one is not this thick. That might be as thick as of a paper, as 100 times lesser than the thickness of your paper part affiliation. So, anta chinna strips of your iron plates ni will be using in the manufacturing. That is the reason even by the small, like say if I might have been seen, if I might have been gone to any very posh or very high level of your restaurants or maybe hotels, even if a person is smoking, that the alarm will be trying to get, what do you call that one? Alarm will be getting activated for that because the thermal expansion, the moment the smoke goes from the cigarette, the moment the temperature of that surrounding even increases slightly beyond its general value, then the alarm will, in the alarm, the metallic strips which have been present, they will get heated up. Because of that slight rise of a temperature, this will get in contact with the current electricity and that will get on and the alarm will be getting switched on part affiliation. So that is the way of the terminology or the technology has been used with the help of your bimetallic strip. But right now in our intermediate, we just have for the 2 mark question right now, what do you define it to bimetallic strip means? If two strips of a different metals are being used one above the other and rigidly joined, the single strip formed is called as of your bimetallic strip. Engineering students will be doing these experiments in your engineering courses when you join your IITs or maybe your NITs part affiliation. But right now in the board examination, just remember that on heating the bimetallic strip, which side will be convex and which side will be concave. The one which is having more alpha will be on convex and the one which is having the lower will be on your concave side part affiliation. Clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Screen putting. Yeah. Sure. Take the next topic better in this one continuation. Expansion of liquids. Expansion of liquids. On heating the liquids, will it expand more than the solids or lesser than the solid? Like say if I'm having a solid and I'm having a liquid, I'm heating both of them. Expansion is seen more in which one? Solid or liquid? చెప్పాలా ఇప్పుడు మన దగ్గర సాలిడ్ ఉంది నాన్న సాలిడ్ నేను ఒక 1 hour కూడా వాట్ యు కాల్ దట్ హీట్ అప్ చేశాను అనుకోండి దట్ మే గెట్ వాటర్ రెడ్ హాట్ బట్ యు కాంట్ సీ ద ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ ఇన్ దట్ వన్ whereas in the water if you take 3/4 of your water part of relation and keep in the what you call the heater or maybe completely fill the bucket of your water and keep insert a heater in that one and switch on the heater for 1 hour or maybe 2 hours. After an interval of a time, you find that because of the volume expansion mode, the total room or the what you call that washroom of that area will be completely become vaporized, and the water which has been present in that one previously full will become 3/4 of that one. That means expansion in the liquid is more around the surface compared to your solids. So can I say that solids having less expansions compared to the liquids part of relation? Can I tell that one better? So write the first point in this one. On heating, liquids expands more than solids. Expands more than solids. Is it point clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? On heating, which will expand more means liquid expands more than of your solids. The next one is liquid do not have any definite length. Liquids do not have any definite length. And shape. Hence, liquids have linear and aerial expansions are not possible. Hence, in liquids, linear and aerial expansions is not possible. And it has only what type of an expansion, beta? Volume expansions. So liquids do not have any definite length and shape. They do not have any definite length and they do not have any definite shape. Hence, in the liquids, linear and aerial expansion is not possible. Can I tell that one? Isn't it? Liquids will try to take the shape of any container in which you keep. If you take the liquid and keep in a ball, it will take the shape of the ball. If you take a liquid and keep it in a water bottle, it will take the shape of a water bottle. Or if you take a liquid and split it on the floor, it will try to go it up to its maximum limit and take the shape of the floor right now there. So liquids do not have any definite length and shape. Hence, in liquids, linear and aerial expansion is not possible. Okay. Now I can write the next point right now. Third one. The liquids occupy the volume of container. Can I say this one better? The liquids occupy the volume of container, and hence when heated we can define two volume expansions for a liquid. What are they? Number one, real expansion of liquid. Number two, apparent expansion of liquid. Okay, see these points, but are very, very important. Heating, liquids expands more compared to your solids. Liquid expands more than your solids. So liquids do not have any definite length and shape. Hence, in liquid, linear and aerial expansion is not at all possible. Hence, in the liquids, linear and aerial expansion is not possible. So the liquids occupy the volume of the container, and hence, when heated, we can define the volume expansion for liquid. That is nothing but one is your real expansion, another is nothing but of your apparent expansion. And like say, for example, if you heat anything in the vessel and keep it onto the stove, what happened? First, the vessel get heated up. Then the energy from the vessel will try to go to the liquid, isn't it? That means there is an expansion in the vessel. There is expansion in the liquid. So there is the two expansions, but we can able to see only the expansion in the liquid. But expansion of the vessels we generally don't see it, because even in the daily life, when our mothers will be cooking for the food, right, you might have been seeing the vessels when they keep on a very hot stove and for 1 hour, maybe for half an hour when they are cooking, you never see the expansion on the vessel particulation. But generally, they undergoes a small expansion which is not seen by the human eye. If anything is being kept, let's say if you're boiling the water, you can see you saw boiling the milk, sorry, and you can see that the moment you keep on the stove, the volume of the what you call the milk when it is being get heated up, start occupying the total vessel part of relation. But you can never see the expansion of your vessel part of relation, isn't it? So that's what exactly. That is the reason in the liquids part of relation, whenever we talk about the liquids, in the liquids occupies the volume of the container. I can say the liquid occupies the volume of container, and hence when heated we have two volume expansions. We have two volume expansion. One is real expansion, another one is nothing but apparent expansion. That we'll try to do in detail, right? Clear for everyone? Can I have this one, better?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Relation between real and apparent expansion. Relation between real and apparent expansions of a liquid. Okay. Okay. So we are talking about right now relation between real and apparent expansion of a liquid. So for example, this is your vessel. Okay. And in this one, we are keeping liquid. So giving some names for this one. I'm trying to write one point here. This is your dotted line. This one is your B. This one is nothing but this. Area of this one, whatever you are taking right now, area of this one is area which is open, is taken as a theory. This liquid is at a temperature of initially T1 degree centigrade. We are heating from your T1 degree centigrade into your T2 degree centigrade. We are heating it to your T2 degree centigrade by some external burner. Isn't it? So we are heating this one. Okay. So what are these 3 points you see better? The moment you heat it, first there will be your increase in the volume of what vessel. The vessel will try to get heated up. So level of liquid will first drop, because the linear expansion is right now in the upward direction. There will be small drop which we can't see it by naked eye. Just imagine that before the water, because the moment you keep the water in a container and heat up, water will directly not get the heat. First, the container will get heated up. Because of that heating, this is a solid metal property slightly expand. So when it is slightly expanding, the level of the liquid in this one will be dropping down. Then after a certain interval of a time, the heat will transfer from the container to the liquid. The liquid gets heated up, then it will increase its volume from your B to your C part of relation. So that is, before heating it is at your A, during heating it will come down. Again from there, B to C, it will be trying to raise up part of relation. Is it clear right now? So if I'm writing this one, this AB into your A. AB is nothing but length, beta. Length into area will give me what? Increase in the volume of your vessel. Increase in volume of vessel. అంతే కదా? This length into area. Length into area is nothing but increase in the volume of your vessel. Increase in the volume of your vessel particle. In the same way, BC into your A is equals to real expansion of your liquid. Real expansion of liquid. Indukani, first it gets heated up, but the level of liquid has been coming down. Once the liquid gets heated up, it is going from your B to C, because after the expansion of the vessel, it is rising from your B to C. So length of this one into area of cross section will give me the real expansion of your liquid. Okay, so I can write that one as change in volume. Real expansion is equals to original volume into gamma real into temperature difference. That is nothing but of your delta T. So real expansion, I can write this one as of this. So delta V real is equals to actual volume into gamma of your real into your delta T. The same way AC into your A. AC into your A. Can anyone tell me what is your AC right now, beta? Apparent expansion of a liquid. We never see the liquid going in the downward direction. We'll try to see the liquid directly going from your A to C. That is the reason AC into your A is nothing but apparent expansion of liquid. Apparent expansion of a liquid. That is expansion of a liquid relative to what? Vessel. Expansion of liquid relative to vessel. Expansion of a liquid relative to your vessel. That means gamma delta V real, gamma V of your apparent will be equal to original volume gamma apparent into your delta T part of a relation. That is nothing but change in temperature. So these are the two relations which you need to remember from the given condition. Is it clear for everyone, beta? So when you are taking the liquid in a container and heat it up, this delta B into your A is nothing but increase in volume. BC into your A is nothing but real expansion of liquid. AC into your A is nothing but apparent expansion. Because when you're heating, with our naked eye, you try to see that from the level, it will getting reheated up. But generally, first the level of the liquid will drop, then it will be rising. But that drop is not seen by our eye. So that is the reason this drop is because of what? Expansion of vessel. So that expansion of the vessel is nothing but increase in the volume of the vessel is AB into your A part of the vessel. Now BC into A is nothing but real expansion, because actually the liquid is rising from here to here. But we will be seeing only from your A to C. That is the reason A to C is known as a apparent, B to C is known as a real, and A to B is nothing but expansion of your vessel. Is it clear for everyone? The 3 points of once again. Huh?
Once again, sir.
Listen here. See, we have taken the liquid in a container. Okay. And you are heating the container. So first, who gets heated up?
Vessel.
Huh?
Vessel.
Vessel. Because of the vessel, what happens when vessel is being exposed? What do you go? Vessel is about a solid, n number of an atom. So it will undergo the expansion on heating, beta.
Yes, sir.
So this is undergoing the expansion. So when it is undergoing expansion, means the level of this one, what is happening? Slightly increasing.
Yes, sir.
If it is increasing, whatever is the liquid level, is it will drop or it will rise?
It will drop.
So now it has been dropped. That means A to B is nothing but what? Drop in the liquid.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can say that A to B is nothing but what? Increase in
Volume.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
that much might be the increase in the volume of the vessel.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? That is the reason this length, AB is nothing but length into area. Length into your area. Volume.
Yes, sir.
So that is what? Increase in the volume of vessel.
Clear.
Then BC. Now the liquid has been come from A to B. Isn't it? Now the liquid is rising from your, after heating still. The liquid is going from B to C then.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? B to C is nothing but what? Real expansion of liquid, because this expansion of the vessel we are not able to see. A to B expansion in the vessel, we are not able to see. See, anytime you keep even the vessel on your cooker or maybe on your what do you call that one, stove or a burner, even for 2 hours, if we keep it and if we go on watching it continuously for 2 hours, you will never see the expansion of the vessel. Can you
Yes,
able to see
sir.
the expansion better?
No, sir.
Reason for that one is it's a microscopic, but there will be an expansion in that one. That expansion will make the vessel to rise, and because of that one, the liquid present in your A will try to reach to the point of your B, slightly in the downward direction. ఇక్కడ మన explanation కోసం we have drawn this much of detail, but it will try to come slightly in the downward direction. Then the whatever heat has been taken by the vessel, afterwards it will try to give the heat to the liquid. Liquid will get heated up. Now it is going from B to C. That means actually the liquid is rising from B to C, but we are able to see only from A to C. That is the reason B to C into its area is called real expansion of liquid. Okay, now
Okay, sir.
that is the reason. That increase in volume, how to write it out? Volume coefficient delta V is equal to V into gamma R into delta T. Gamma is coefficient of real expansion. In the same way, A to C is nothing but what? Apparent expansion of liquid. That is expansion of the liquid relative to what? Vessel. So delta V of your apparent is equal to V into gamma A into your delta T. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now see, from figure, I can write this BC. This BC will be equal to how much? But can anyone tell me? This BC will be equal to your AB plus AC. అంతే కదా, AB plus AC is nothing but of your BC. అంతేనా?
Yes, sir.
This B to C is nothing but equal to sum of this expansion, sum of this expansion. So BC is equal to your AB plus of your AC. Can I write like that, everyone? Clear andarki?
Yes, sir.
Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
I'm rubbing this part better. See this one, BC into multiplying by A is equals to AB into your A plus AC into your A. BC into your A will give me what better? BC into your A will give me what? Real expansion of liquid anukunnama,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? So that will be equal to your BC into your A. You divide by your original volume and as well as of your change in temperature, B into delta T on both the sides. That is equals to AB into your A divided by B into delta T plus of your AC into your A divided by V into your delta. Okay. BC is nothing but what? Real expansion
Yes.
into your area of cross section, that is nothing but what? A is nothing but what? Area of cross section divided by your volume into your delta. Anna? So can I write that one as right now what better? Coefficient of real expansion gamma R is equals to, because BC into A is nothing but what? Change in volume hai kada. Change in volume by original volume into delta T will be equal to how much for me? Gamma R. A to B is nothing but what for me? Expansion in your vessel. So that is nothing but of your apparent expansion plus A to C is nothing but right now for me. Can anyone tell me? That will be equal to your expansion of your vessel. So I can write this one as of your expansion of your glass. Okay. AB is nothing but expansion of your apparent expansion plus apparent expansion of your glass. That means gamma R will be equal to, gamma R is equals to right now AB and AC.
Excuse
Okay.
me, sir.
So coefficient of real expansion is better.
Sir, AB is the expansion of the vessel, right? And AC
I can
is
write
the
here no problems. You can write as gamma G and this one as of your gamma
A.
Okay, na?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Just for clarity.
AC is nothing but what? Expansion in your AC. What I told you better.
The real
Apparent
expansion.
expansion of what? Liquid.
That all.
BC
Yes, sir.
is nothing but expansion of your vessel. So gamma R is equals to gamma G plus of your gamma E. Can I write like that better?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, gamma R is also equal to, if I write here, this one, doesn't make any difference for me. Gamma A plus gamma G. Does it make any difference?
No, sir.
No, that is equals to gamma A plus. Can I write gamma of glass in terms of alpha?
Yes.
Gamma in terms of alpha.
Yes, sir.
How much?
Oh,
Three
not sure.
times. 3 times.
3 times of alpha of glass. Very good. So gamma R is equals to now I can write gamma R is equals to gamma A plus 3 times of alpha of your glass. Clear? That means real expansion is equal to how much for me? Apparent expansion plus glass expansion. This glass expansion, if is writing in alpha, we can write even gamma R is equals to your gamma A plus 3 times of your alpha of your G. Is it clear for everyone?
So what is the use of it writing in gamma, sir?
Which one, beta?
What is the use of writing it in terms of gamma?
Which one?
Sorry, not gamma, sir. Alpha.
Alpha, na? Like say gamma value is not given in the problem. And he has given alpha of the glass is equals to 3.1 into 10 to the power of minus 11. Then can you get the value of gamma of glass then? 3 times of alpha of glass, if you multiply, it will get the value of gamma of glass. That value you can substitute and get me the value of your real expansion.
Okay, sir.
It depends upon the numerical. Actually, this is only the formula right now for me. Gamma real will be equal to your gamma apparent plus gamma of glass. If gamma, as it is a solid material, he need not every time give you in terms of your what do you call that one, G gamma value. He can give alpha, or he can give you the beta also. So at the time also you can write that values in terms of alpha or beta part of it. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So that was about your real expansions of your liquid parts. So relation between real expansion, apparent expansion, and as well as of your what do you call expansion of your vessel part of it. I hope you got an idea of this one, but everyone,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
isn't it? Sure.
Yes, sir.
So gamma R is what, beta?
Ga-
Real.
real expansion
So I need not
of
write that
liquid.
points now. Will you be able to understand? Or
Yes,
do you need
sir.
to write that? Gamma R is equals to coefficient of real expansion of liquid. Okay. Same. Gamma A is equals to
Coefficient of apparent
gamma A
expansion of
is equals
liquid.
to coefficient of apparent expansion. Coefficient of your apparent expansion. And gamma R is equals to 3 times of your
Okay.
alpha of your glass. Sorry, gamma R,
It's a gamma G, sir.
gamma G. Gamma G is equals to 3 times of your alpha of G. This is nothing but what? Volume coefficient of what? Glass. Or you can write coefficient of what do you call that? Coefficient of your real expansion. That is equals to volume of your coefficient of your glass.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sure. Keep a note, better. Gamma R of a liquid, real expansion. Gamma R of a liquid is independent of nature of vessel. Is independent of nature of vessel. But gamma A of a liquid, gamma A means apparent expansion. Gamma A of a liquid changes from container to container. Changes from container to container. Very important. Okay. Real expansion of a liquid is what? Independent of nature of vessel. Whether you keep any vessel, it will be expanding. But apparent expansion of a liquid changes from container to container part of relation. Why? Because that may be increasing or decreasing depending upon the metal what you are using. Okay. We'll try to understand this one with the help of one small example. A liquid, when heated in silver and glass vessels, corresponding apparent expansion coefficients are S and G. If capital A is the linear coefficient of silver, then find linear coefficient of glass. Sure. Try to do it now. A liquid when heated in a silver and glass vessel, like say this one is your silver and this one is your glass. So this one is your silver and this one is your glass. Silver is represented. The corresponding apparent expansion coefficients are apparent expansion of your silver is represented by S. Apparent expansion of your glass is represented by your capital G. And here is the linear coefficient of your silver. Then find the linear coefficient of your glass part of relation. Can anyone try it? You see, both of them are in different vessels. Better. Both of them are in the different vessels. That means coefficient of real expansion of your silver must be equal to coefficient of real expansion of your glass. You know how to write the coefficient of real expansion? Gamma apparent of your silver plus this one is 3 times of alpha of your silver, because he has given the linear coefficient, not volume. So that is the reason I'm writing in terms of alpha. That is equals to gamma apparent of your glass plus 3 times of alpha of your glass. What is asking? Linear coefficient of glass. That means alpha of your glass is equals to what? How much he is asking from the given condition. Gamma apparent of your silver is given as of your S plus this one is 3 times of your coefficient of linear expansion of silver is represented by your alpha. Alpha of your silver is given as of A in the problem. So S plus 3A is equals to coefficient of apparent expansion of the glass is given as of your G plus 3 times of your coefficient of apparent expansion of your glass. That is nothing but a few small g or capital G. Is fine for. So I can write now from this one, alpha of your glass will be equal to S plus of your 3A minus of your G divided by your 3. Is it clear for everyone? Adamainda?
Yes, sir.
Mula sir cheppana. See, a liquid when heated in silver and glass, in both of them we are what do you call it, taking the liquid and heating. You know the real coefficient of the silver must be equal to coefficient of real expansion of the glass, isn't it? Now the problem is telling that apparent expansion coefficient of silver is represented by S and glass is represented by your capital G. And coefficient of linear expansion of silver is represented by your capital E. So gamma of your silver is equals to gamma of your glass. Gamma A of silver plus 3 times of alpha of your silver is equals to gamma apparent of your glass plus 3 times of alpha of your glass. Gamma apparent of your silver is given as of your S, 3 times coefficient of linear expansion of the silver is given as of your A, that is equals to coefficient of apparent expansion of the glass is given as capital G plus 3 times of alpha G. So this will go here. So alpha of glass is equals to S plus 3A minus G divided by 3. Is it clear for everyone? అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday I have given one numerical. Have you completed it? No. Rashekar, Fayaz, Tejasri, Ashrita. No one is giving the answer. Rahul Reddy, Shoaib Akhtar, Dikshit, Abraham, Suspura, Mughda, Stephen, Kashish, Gautam. Yesterday I given you the question. No one has sent me the answer.
Sir,
Now you
yeah,
are not the kids, beta. The moment I give you the question, you try to do it out and let me know on the WhatsApp group. You can't waste the time like that. Try to read today the S.C. Verma volume 2 beta. From that one, thermal expansion a topic untundi. Thermal expansions, you try to do it out. Or else get the book from the Himalaya, volume 1, volume 2 of your S.C. Verma Pakka. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
okay, sir.
Please try to buy the S.C. Verma volume 1, volume 2 for the reference. And for problem
Sir.
practice, if you need, you can buy the Universal Self-Scorer volume 1 and volume 2. That is the Bible for the problem practice, because on each topic we'll be getting like this. On thermal expansion, we'll be getting 40-50 problems with the detailed solutions. After the completion of a concept, you can try to solve the numericals from the topic part of a list. Okay. You please try to buy the books today itself, because once again lockdowns will start, it will be not possible to go out. Again, we will be locked for 15-20 days. Then numerical problem doing ability will be very, very problematic. So please try to buy your material with you and at least keep this reference book with you so that you can do it out. Universal Self-Scorer, you can buy it for maths, physics, chemistry, but that is always a very good option. I can tell from my side, it's always a very good option. And apart from that one, you need to buy in the physics, S.C. Verma volume 1 and volume. Okay?
Okay, sir.
కొంటారా లేదా ఈ రోజే కొనేసేయండి ఇంకా
Okay, sir.
ఏమంటున్నాను
Sir, we can in fact get the PDF of HC Verma online.
Yeah, we can do it out better, but every time reading so much of time on an online on a mobile is not possible now. On
Yes.
tab or maybe on system when you're doing it will be clear. Today or tomorrow you have to buy it anyhow. Even I'm having the PDF, I can send you out, but reading from that one is not feasible basically.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? So physical book unte emothundante, you can give it time, you can sit anywhere, you can highlight it, you can read it n number of times, isn't it? In the mobile or a tab means it is always a problematic. It is a problem for your eyes, it is a problem for everything. Even listening the class for 3-4 hours continuously keeping the mobile in front of you is glaring your eyes like anything. And if you start reading the S.C. Verma, the small letters, you will get a sight by the time you complete your intermediate second year, no doubt in that one.
Yes,
So
sir.
personal request is you try to buy the physical copy, because now there is no lockdown. Maybe 1 or 2 days we can't expect anything. So in Himalaya and maybe any other goods, what we call that one shops, you can get it out that volumes, and especially the self-scorer volume 1, volume 2, you can either get it from the Amazon. That is more better if you don't want to go out. You can just give an order even in the Amazon. You can get that books also. Maybe because of the scarcity, you may not get the books of your universal self-scorers also, because the volumes they are not going for the publications also. So maybe in the nearby future there will be very huge shortage of these books basically. So please try to get the books as soon as possible from the Amazon if it is possible. If you can do it from the what you call that one online, I mean to say reading on an online for the PDFs, you can do it out, but still it is not advisable as per my feeling is being concerned.
I agree, sir. Excuse
Okay,
me, sir. So actually,
leave.
excuse me, sir.
Yes, better.
So actually, I have just borrowed the books of Interfirst from my seniors.
Okay.
Like these are the Interfirst Telangana State Board books. Should I continue with this?
NCRT books.
No, sir. Telangana State Board books. of
Can you
Inter-
show it me once on the video?
Yeah, sure, sir.
What's your name?
So my name is Shoaib. My name is Shoaib.
Shoaib. Yeah, just on your video and just show me the book basically. Let me see. Yeah, that is the academic textbooks better. That is for your intermediate exam. Like you write your CBSE exams like long answers, short answers. For that one, that book has been very much useful. Yeah, that is compulsory books to be required. But apart from that one, Hesi Verma is also pakka required for your competitive examinations.
Yes, sir.
Okay, na?
Yes, sir. So shall I
Yeah, that
continue
books
with
is
this one?
compulsory better. For everyone, that books are compulsory. That are intermediate textbooks for passing your board exams, but not for competitive examinations. You can study from that one also, no problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but Hesi Verma and these books are compulsory required for your practice. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
chalo, take care, bye.
Have a great day, sir.
Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Today there is no math class. Please rejoin again at 10:30. Math class maybe if it's possible. Sir said that I will take afternoon onwards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please rejoin again at 10:30.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.